President Hakainde Hichilema's recent apology has sparked a wave of political commentary, with the Patriotic Front, PF, describing it as a step in the right direction. The opposition party, which has consistently criticized the United Party for National Development, UPND, administration, views the president's acknowledgement of certain missteps as a necessary gesture toward transparency and accountability. In a political landscape often marked by rigid partisanship and defensive rhetoric, the PF's response signals a rare moment of constructive engagement. The apology, which touched on issues such as unmet campaign promises and economic challenges, is seen by many observers as an attempt to recalibrate public trust and reassert moral leadership. While critics argue that words alone are insufficient, the symbolic weight of a presidential apology cannot be dismissed in a democracy still grappling with institutional fragility and public skepticism. The PF statement emphasized that Hichilema's admission of errors, particularly regarding fuel pricing and economic management, reflects a growing awareness of the disconnect between campaign rhetoric and governance realities. During his campaign, HH promised to lower fuel costs and improve living standards. However, the subsequent rise in fuel prices and inflation has led to widespread disillusionment among citizens who expected swift reforms. The PF argues that this reversal undermines the credibility of elected officials and erodes the social contract between government and governed. By acknowledging these shortcomings, the president opens the door to a more honest dialogue about the limitations of power and the complexities of economic recovery. The PF insists that such gestures must be followed by concrete policy shifts and inclusive governance strategies that prioritize the needs of ordinary Zambians. Political analysts note that the PF's reaction is not merely opportunistic but reflects a broader shift in opposition strategy. Rather than relying solely on criticism, the party appears to be positioning itself as a watchdog committed to democratic accountability. This recalibration allows the PF to engage with national discourse in a more nuanced way, challenging the ruling party while also recognizing moments of progress. The emphasis on apology as a political tool underscores the evolving expectations of Zambian citizens, who increasingly demand humility and responsiveness from their leaders. In this context, HH's statement is not just a personal reflection but a test of institutional maturity. It invites scrutiny of the mechanisms through which political actors admit fault, correct course, and rebuild trust. Moreover, the apology has reignited debates about the role of political memory and historical comparison. Some commentators draw parallels with Zimbabwe's post-Mugabe transition, warning against the dangers of euphoric governance that overlooks structural reform. The PF's invocation of such examples serves to remind the public that democratic change must be accompanied by vigilance and civic engagement. The party cautions against blind loyalty to any administration, arguing that true patriotism lies in holding leaders accountable regardless of political affiliation. This stance resonates with a growing segment of the population disillusioned by unmet expectations and wary of political theatrics. In sum, HH's apology represents a pivotal moment in Zambia's democratic journey. It offers a chance to reset the tone of political discourse and reaffirm the values of transparency, humility, and public service. The PF's response, while critical, acknowledges the potential of such gestures to foster a more responsive and inclusive governance model. As Zambia navigates its complex socio-economic challenges, the interplay between apology, accountability, and reform will continue to shape its political future.